This is how social media steals your dreams. By way of a metaphor, imagine there are two kingdoms, each with peasants that live in villages and royals who live in beautiful castles. In one of these kingdoms, the royals think they should make the peasants happier. They do this by letting them tour the castle every single day. But the peasants can't touch anything. They can only look at the amazing food, the golden statues, and the comfortable beds. Every day they walk through the castle, see all of these amazing things, and go back home to their little huts. In the other kingdom, the peasants are never allowed inside the castle. They stay in the village and barely think about what happens in there. Now, in which kingdom do you think the peasants will be happier? Now, obviously, the inside of the castle represents social media, and unfortunately in this metaphor, you are the peasant. You look at people who have more than you and you feel jealous. Or even worse, you can no longer look at what you have with any gratitude and contentment. It's like after the peasants tour the castle, do you think when they go back to their huts, they can enjoy the mud floor and the straw bed? Of course not. If you're constantly reminded of people that have more than you, you won't have any perspective on what you do have. Now you might say, oh, but it's motivation for me. I'm not a peasant, I'm going to live in a castle one day. But that's not quite right, is it? Because what you're looking at when you look at social media is someone else's dream. And that's why people are so uncreative with their dreams nowadays, even if they do happen to be ambitious. Everyone says they want to be a millionaire and live in a big mansion like this, with a girl that looks like this, and then they call everyone else sheep. But you're a sheep too. You just want to be a rich sheep. You haven't bothered to look within and see what would actually work for you and what you're actually capable of. Maybe you don't care about cars. Maybe you would really make a much better life with $100,000 a year and a loving family, rather than working 14 hours a day chasing this dream of Lamborghinis and mansions that social media has sold you. Because we're all very, very different. Looking in the castle at what other people have and what other people enjoy and say is luxury and greatness is not feeding you, it's torturing you. It's leading you away from your own instincts and your own unique vision for the future. How boring would the world be if everyone drove a Lamborghini and wore suits and went to the club every night? In that world, where would the art come from? What would people talk about? It would be stagnation. A very fancy, high-class stagnation, but stagnation nonetheless. You probably didn't like this castle metaphor because in it, you're the peasant. But that's where the comparison breaks down. This isn't the Middle Ages. No one is forcing you to stay in a particular place at a particular job. Instead, the problems you have are parents telling you to be safe, friends telling you to be comfortable, and social media telling you to be rich and taller and prettier and better in some general way. Amongst all those voices, you have no idea what you actually want. More importantly, what you actually need to be happy. Instead, you're looking at the equivalent of success porn, an idealized version of what greatness and success is, that's only popular because it's so obviously and overwhelmingly gratifying if you look at it for 3 seconds on Instagram. Of course, the Lamborghini pops if you post a picture of it, but that doesn't encapsulate the quality of cars that maybe don't look so good on camera. Maybe a car that you would actually enjoy a lot more than a Lamborghini. But you see the Lamborghini online, you think, oh, that's what a good car is, and then your thought process stops there. It's the same process with real porn. You're taking on the expectations of other people that an industry is selling you, so that industry will then make more money, and you're probably not able to appreciate the women around you because you've become addicted to this dream that an industry sells. Living off these projections of other people's dreams is not just leading you down the wrong path, it's making you unable to listen to your own voices and finding out what your dreams actually are. Wake up. You will not beat other people at their games in the games that they invented. Right now, we live in a world of niches and diverse interests. You will never win as a worse version of someone else. And that's a bit scary because it means no one can tell you what to do. No course or influencer is going to show you exactly the blueprint to success. They can't even show you the right destination, so how could they possibly tell you how to get there? You have to figure out both. And of course, you can find models for this or that kind of success, but none of them will give you the keys to the kingdom all on their own. This means you're responsible for figuring out who you are and what you want and what you need. You are responsible for figuring out what your kingdom will look like. And the more you look to other people for what a good kingdom should be, the farther away you get from the one that you could actually build.